Hello, and welcome back to my internet show. I still haven't come up with a good name for it, but I'm working on that, so I'll have something better than welcome back to my show. Um, I just wanted to kind of give you kind of put a tag on the front of this, or I don't know what you call it, but anyway. Last night, I decided not to film this episode. I decided to give myself some sleep that I much needed. Being in school, and especially in the type of studying I'm doing, which is engineering, and that's like calculus and physics and stuff like that. It takes a lot of study to get ahead in that class, and so I've been really burning the candle at both ends, and so I really needed the sleep. Also, I've gone on the internet and actually found a program, Windows. I found Windows Movie Maker. My computer did not have it, which is why the first two episodes are unedited. But now I can edit just like they do in the news. So, I'm not going to have as boring a show as I did before. It's also going to be a little, probably easier to watch than it was before. So, let's get started. This is the Moebius Iron Man kit.
I am Iron Man. Da 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 da.
The first one. There is a new one as of this taping, which is much better than this one. Not just because it's the new suit from Iron Man 2, but because this one has the most neutral pose I've ever seen in a figure kit. It's just him standing straight up and down with his arms to his sides, no action pose whatsoever. Contrast this with the new Moebius kit, which has a very dynamic pose. And I might do that one actually in a later video because I happen to love Iron Man. I think it's one of the most interesting Marvel characters. And so I'm going to build this kit up. And like I said the other night in the other episode, this is going to be another Christmas present. This is for my nephew who happens to love Iron Man. And I'm going to be lighting the chest beam, the eyes, and one of the repulsor beams in the hand. I'm also going to be modifying this kit to have his arm outstretched like so, like he's going to blast somebody with his repulsor beam. So let's take a look at what we get in here, and I've already started this kit, by the way. I wanted to make mention of this. In this little series I'm doing, it's going to be mostly sci-fi. I'm not that I'm opposed to other genres, but this is just the one that I like to do the most because there's more freedom involved, I think, in the way you build them. Like, for instance, with pardon me, with Iron Man, you can paint him up in any way. You can paint his suit up any way you want, and no one can tell you that it's wrong because, well, how would they know? It's not real. Also, some of the subjects I think are more interesting to look at in most cases than real life subjects. You may disagree, and that's fine. But from a personal point of view, I happen to think that science fiction kits are really more interesting than real life. Which is like that's kind of like saying the Eiffel Tower is a little more interesting than Mount Rushmore, but because they're both pretty cool, but I still think still think sci-fi kits are more impressive. So let's take a look at what we get in here. And like I said, I already started this kit, so I'm going to just show you what comes in the box. This is kind of pointless, but because I've already started this kit, but I can show you a little bit of what you get in here. First of all, you get this huge base here. It's not bad unless you wanted one of those realistic bases, in which case you probably want to scratch build one, which is not too hard, and I can show you how to do that in a later video, but not with this one. I wanted this to be kind of fast, kind of simple, so I'm just going to leave the base as it is. You also get two legs, obviously, and it's kind of hard to describe how these go together, but I'll give it a shot. You have a sole, one half for each for the shin. You get a kneecap, and one half of either thigh. You also, of course, get the two main body halves. You get a head, like so. It comes with a faceplate, of course. And I like the fact this faceplate is molded in as a separate piece, because this means you can actually paint this and insert it later. I'm actually not going to do that though with this because I want to make this whole thing one piece so that I can so it'll be secure. I'm kind of paranoid about securing. Sorry about that. I bumped the camera stand. I'm kind of paranoid about securing all of my parts before I paint them. Most of my models I actually wait until the very last to paint them because I think it's easier that way for me. But it's just for me. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You also get a connector for the neck. For the arms, I can actually show this through on this one. You get the two forearms, the two shoulder parts here. As you can see, the shoulders are actually molded into the arms, so that's one of the reasons why people don't want to modify this kit, because it's kind of difficult, but not impossible. You also get two palms. The other one would be over here normally. And you get the tops of the palms. So that's what you get in this kit. And as you can see, it's made of fairly thick plastic. So it's kind of hard to... It's going to be hard to carve into. But like I said, not impossible. Now that I've shown you what the inside of this thing looks like, let's get to the nitty-gritty of how to assemble this thing and light it. Okay, now, like I said before, I have already started building this kit, and I started building it before I realized I wanted to light this thing, because before I was just going to snap it together and paint it up nice and send it off. But I realized that I wouldn't... Well, how can I explain giving away a fully functional X-Wing to my niece and a plain old standing Iron Man for my nephew? That would not... I think that would not go over very well. So, I had already built up the legs, and in order to supply power for this, I'm going to have to find a way to get a wire down through this leg here into the base. I'm going to have a 9-volt battery down here and a switch, but how am I going to make this thing hollow so that I can put a wire through there? Because if you look, this is pretty solid all the way through. There's several bulkheads going through there. So, what do? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my handy dandy drill press.